everyone is prepared for the unfortunate situation of a car wreck. Although car wrecks are unpredictable, the best way to be prepared if you are in a car wreck is to be wearing your seatbelt. Today I'll be telling you about the importance of wearing your seatbelt and the law requirements for wearing one. So why should everyone in a moving vehicle be wearing their seatbelt? Because it could save their lives. According to an article titled Seatbelt from NHTSA.gov, one of the safest choices drivers and passengers can make is to buckle up. Many Americans understand the life-saving value of the seatbelt. The national use rate was at 89.6% in 2018. Seatbelt use in passenger vehicles saved an estimated 4,955 lives in 2017. If you are in a wreck and it's so severe that it makes the car flip, you could be ejected from the vehicle if you're not wearing your seatbelt. My husband was a passenger in a truck that swerved off the road and flipped over. Fortunately enough, he and the driver were wearing their seatbelts. So my husband just had a cut on the back of his head that required some staples, and the driver had some bruising. So that was enough for my husband to start wearing his seatbelt every time he drives off. And he it messed with him enough to where he thinks about his kids, so he makes sure that all of our kids are buckled in before he drives as well. Taken from EdgarSnyder.com, their statistics show that seatbelts do save lives. When used correctly, wearing a seatbelt reduces the risk of moderate to critical injury by 50%. For those riding in the rear of vans and sport utility vehicles during a car crash, rear seat belts are 73% better at preventing fatalities. Now that I told you how safe it is to wear your seatbelt, I'll let you know how bad it is if you don't. From the Centers of Disease Control and Prevention, in an article titled Seatbelts, Get the Facts, dated 5 June 2018, retrieved from cdc.gov, it says not having a seatbelt on when you wreck could leave you severely injured or it could leave you dead. A total of 23,714 drivers and passengers in vehicle wrecks died in crashes in 2016. More than half, 53 to 62% of teens ages 13 through 19 and adults ages 20 to 44 who died in crashes in 2016 were not buckled up at the time of the crash. More than 2.6 million drivers and passengers were treated in emergency rooms as a result of being injured in motor vehicle crashes in 2016. Putting on your seatbelt should be the first thing you do when you get into your vehicle. Personally, I don't even start my car until my seatbelt's on. And if I have passengers with me, I don't drive off until all of them have their seatbelts on. And again, like my husband with my kids, I make sure they're all buckled in before I go. When you wear your seatbelt, you're not only keeping yourself safe and your passengers safe, but it is the law that you wear your seatbelt. So whether you put it on now when you get in your car or not, or when you're driving, you should be, because it is the law. From an article titled The Importance of Wearing a Seatbelt, written in 2019, retrieved from virtualdriveoftexas.com, seatbelts were first required by federal law under Title 49 of the United States Code, Chapter 301, Motor Vehicle Safety Standard, on January the 1st, 1968. This law required all vehicles except for buses to be equipped with seatbelts in each designated seating position. Retrieved from the Columbia College Library in an article written by A. Williams and A. Ludd in December 1986, titled Seatbelt Use Laws and Occupant Crash Prevention in the United States. Current federal rulemaking requires restraints such as airbags or automatic seatbelts in new cars starting with model year 1987. Unless states with 2/3 of the United States population enact seatbelt use laws meeting certain criteria. Belt use laws have been enacted by 26 states and the District of Columbia as of July 1st, 1986. Seatbelt laws are divided into two categories, primary and secondary. Primary seatbelt laws allow law enforcement officers to ticket a driver or passenger for not wearing their seatbelt without any other traffic offense taking place, which means you could just get pulled over and get a ticket for not wearing your seatbelt. The secondary seatbelt laws state that law enforcement officers may issue a ticket for not wearing a seatbelt only when there is another citable traffic infraction, meaning if you get put over for speeding, then they see you don't have a seatbelt, then you'll get the ticket for not wearing your seatbelt. 34 states, the District of Columbia, Guam, Puerto Rico, and the Virgin Islands all have primary seatbelt laws for front seat occupants. 30 states, DC, and 2 territories have laws enforcing rear seatbelt use, and this was taken from ghsa.gov. When you wear your seatbelt, you're not only keeping yourself and your passengers safe, but you're abiding by the law. Also, wearing your seatbelt keeps you safe and your passengers, but you know, you can't always tell whenever you're going to be into a wreck, but wearing your seatbelt will keep you safe. And hopefully, if you don't already put on your seatbelt when you get into your car, that you do now. And I hope you learned a lot about wearing the seatbelts and the law requirements.